Welcome to our Week 8 picks for every NFL game in Week 8. Starting out in Minnesota at the Los Angeles Rams. Minnesota is a 3-point favorite. We both have the Minnesota Vikings. I think this is one of the easier picks of the week with the way that the defense has played. They took a loss last week to a division rival. I think Minnesota is going to come out pretty hot for a win. I will say, though, the game does feel a little trappy.
It feels trappy in terms of it'll be closer than people expect. I wouldn't be taking any alternate spreads or anything along those lines, right? If we're talking in terms of betting, but just from a pure objective standpoint, yeah, the Vikings should win this game. They win both of the trench battles, and that's enough for me to say that they're going to win the game.
All right, moving into our next game, we have the Baltimore Ravens at the Cleveland Browns. Baltimore is an 8.5-point favorite. We both have Baltimore, and it's honestly kind of hard to not take them after what they just did last week versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and what they've done against the last couple of opponents that they've faced.
Yeah, again, this is one of those situations we would be foolish not to take them. And if they make us look foolish, I'm okay with that. I'd rather that be the case than going against them and losing. That's just that's how you have to play these situations.
You can't pick Cleveland. You can't pick Cleveland.
Logically speaking, no.
Unless Jameis Winston is starting, then you can pick Cleveland. Tennessee at Detroit. Detroit is an 11-point favorite.
They broke the sports book.
Wow. All I have to say is wow. I don't think you have to question who either of us are taking. It is both Detroit.
Yeah, I don't really think we need an explanation.
Arizona at Miami. Miami is a 3-point favorite. You have Arizona and I have Miami. Why are you taking Arizona?
Just because, here's my thing, Hunter. Tua's first game back, yes. But you never know what someone's going to look like in their first game back, especially from such a catastrophic set of injuries, however you want to label what Tua's dealing with at this point. And look, the Cardinals are coming out ready to go on a win streak. Kyler Murray hasn't won 2 consecutive games. I don't remember the exact stat, but it's wild. It has been multiple seasons since he's won 2 games in a row. Hunter, I think if you're Kyler Murray, you got to say, you know what? I'm ready to put that narrative to bed. The Cardinals, let's find a way to establish ourselves as competitors. Maybe some dark horses to get that last playoff spot in the NFC somehow. You got to be hungry for the Cardinals. That's how I'm looking at it.
We have the New York Jets at the New England Patriots. The Jets are a 7-point favorite. We both have the Jets. Now, I will say, would not be surprised if New England won this game with the way the defense has looked for the Jets.
Yep. And if anything, I'm going to say it like this. I'm sorry, Jets fans. I want the Patriots to win this game because the narratives and the media circus would just be quite funny to sit back and watch with how bad the Saints are playing this year. At least I would have to. I'm okay, it's not just the Saints fans going through it. When you're a really bad team, you got to have some company in the back. And if the Jets were able to join us, and I'm just going to sit back and be able to, get the popcorn going, I'm not going to sit here. Call me hater of the year. Hunter, I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it.
I wouldn't mind it either. Atlanta at Tampa Bay. Atlanta is a 2.5-point favorite. I think after the injuries, it became pretty easy to take Atlanta here.
Yeah, I was going to say it's an injury thing. But if you talk about another trap game, this is one of them.
Chicago at Washington. Chicago's a 2.5-point favorite. Jaden Daniels may not be playing. We both have Chicago. It's going to be an interesting game. Chicago is coming off a bye week.
I'm just taking my logical very often is always going to be defense over offense. It's just how I operate pretty often. And the Commanders' O-line does have the advantage, I would say, over the Bears' trenches. But that Bears secondary has just been ferocious. And whether that Marcus or Jaden is playing, I do think that they can force him to a couple turnovers. If Caleb can play clean, I think it'll be a close game. But I do see the Bears edging out this one.
Green Bay at Jacksonville. Green Bay is a 4.5-point favorite. We both have Green Bay. Now, this would be a crazy game if they lost, but Green Bay has been playing on another level right now, and if Jordan Love can just play a clean game, they should easily beat the Doug Peterson-led Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, no, this is going to be one of those Jordan Love, 4 touchdown, 1 interception, 300-plus yards. That's my prediction as far as this is concerned. I think you should light them up. And the defense plays how they played last week, and they can just stop Tank Bigsby, who's kind of emerging as RB1 at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should be able to run away with this one.
Indiana at Indianapolis at Houston. Houston is a 6-point favorite in AFC South matchup. We both have Houston. I mean, I don't know. Like, I not a big fan of what the offense looks like with Anthony Richardson, and I think Stroud might want to have a bounce back game after only throwing for 86 yards last week.
Well, and what better defense to have a bounce back week on than the Colts right now? So it's kind of just how it is. Again, look, I'll say it like this too, though, Hunter. If this is a trap game with a close divisional game, I won't be super shocked. No. But like, the Texans should win this game.
New Orleans at the Chargers. LAC is a 7-point favorite. The Saints kind of really need to win this one, but we're both going Chargers. No? How are they going to lose? What's the score going to be?
It's Jover. Like I said, let's see if the Saints can hold them under 30 points. That I'll be shocked.
The Chargers scoring 30?
The Broncos scoring 30? I mean,
fair.
Look, Justin Herbert's about to throw for 350 yards, 3 touchdowns. And I'm not kidding when I say, if you're having a parlay fest this week, hammer the Chargers offense to find a way to have a get back. You know what I said in my Saints rant? Whenever a team needs a get back game, the Saints are the team. That's the Chargers this week. This is their get back.
Buffalo at Seattle. Buffalo is a 3-point favorite. We both have Buffalo. Now, this is a game that I find is going to be really interesting because I do think that Seattle could win this game because of what they did on offense last week if they're fully healthy. But Buffalo should definitely come in as the better team here.
Yeah, no, but that's kind of the thing with the Bills there, Hunter, is like for the Bills, it's always like they should, but we're never fully confident because they are so prone to the slip-up weeks.
Yeah.
It's kind of their identity. Best team in the league, top 3 team in the league for multiple weeks in a row, and then they hit a wall, and you're like, oh, God, that's not the same team. And if that's this week, yeah, the Seahawks are going to win this game, but if it's one of the weeks where the Bills keep on track, then the Bills are going to be the one to win this game. I know it's kind of a cop-out answer, but unfortunately, the Bills haven't given me any other reason to say anything else.
Philly at Cincinnati. Cincinnati is a 2.5-point favorite. You have Philly and I have Cincy. Why are you taking Philly?
Because both these teams just don't play consistent week to week. But I do think I'm much more I have much more faith in the Eagles O-line just obliterating the Bengals and just gashing them, winning the clock battle, than I do for the Bengals to have a really good week on offense and being able to stop that run in the same week.
I understand where you're coming from. And I get that. My concern is I trust the consistency of the Bengals offense than I do the consistency of the Eagles offense because I trust Joe Burrow more than Jalen Hurts. And that is kind of why I'm leaning towards the Bengals. Now, I do think that the Eagles definitely have a much better defense than the Bengals at this point. So if the Bengals offense does not get rolling, then it's going to be Eagles all day.
No, I'm with you, though. I do definitely trust Joe Burrow more than Jalen Hurts. So if it comes down to being a shootout and both run games get stuffed, I hear you on the Bengals. I do.
Carolina at Denver. Denver is a 9-point favorite. We both have Denver. Surprise. The Carolina Panthers stink.
Yeah, the Broncos might hold the Panthers to 0 points. That's what I have to say about this week.
It's very possible. KC at Las Vegas. KC is a 10-point favorite. We're getting crazy spreads this week. We both have KC. But the Raiders have had the Chiefs' number in the last couple of years.
No, for sure. But again, the QB situation, and if this is the week the Chiefs' offense really gets rolling, I won't be shocked about that either.
Dallas at San Fran. San Fran is a 4.5-point favorite. We both have San Fran. Not going to lie, I was a little hesitant on this pick. Dallas is coming off a bye, right? And San Fran has not looked good, and Dallas has a lot to prove. But I don't trust Mike McCarthy.
No, and you get Deron Bland back this week. Let me double check myself. I know that there was a chance they were getting Micah Parsons back this week. It still is questionable if Mike is going to be back, but I would lean yes. I'm with you, though. Look, bottom line, this was my most hesitant pick of the week for sure. And if I'm wrong on this one, it's kind of one of those ones like I like to say where if I'm wrong on this one, I'm not upset about it. Because logically, yes, I am going to go Niners. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys have a bounce back week off the bye.
New York Giants at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is a 6.5-point favorite. I'm taking Pittsburgh. You're taking Pittsburgh. Russell Wilson is taking Pittsburgh to the Super Bowl. It's going to be an interesting game for the Giants because if the Eagles were able to do what they did to them last week, I could only imagine what the Steelers will do to them.
No, especially and look, nobody's really given him his flowers yet or kind of his credit. But look, Najee is a damn good running back. Najee's really coming into his own. And Pittsburgh also has a good complementary back system over there. Like everyone comes in and does their job. Yeah, I could see the Steelers running all over them. And if the Giants have another week how they did moving the ball last week, yeah, this could be a 31-3, 37-3 type of week. If anything, I'll say it like this. I'm taking that spread if I'm deciding to bet on this game.
Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been our Week 8 picks for every NFL game. If you don't know ball, want to know ball, be sure to subscribe, leave a like, let us know in the comments what you think the biggest trap game of the week will be.